Welcome to Made for More podcast, where faith and personal growth converge. I'm Julia, and I'm honored to guide you on a journey of empowerment and transformation alongside our occasional co-host, Omar. We are passionate believers and advocates for unlocking your God-given full potential. Join us as we explore the intersection of faith, life, business, and relationships, igniting a fire within to embrace the truth that your life is destined for greatness. Together, we'll uncover strategies, insights, and stories that inspire and equip you to become the best version of yourself. Get ready to embark on a fulfilling quest towards personal and professional fulfillment, guided by faith and the unwavering belief that you, my friend, are made for more.
Recording in progress.
Hello, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of Julia Keeps It Real. Last episode. Holy moly, you guys. We knocked the roof, the ceiling off. I don't even know the analogy. I don't even know what I was trying to say. But basically, we topped the charts. We even ranked in the USA, and it's pretty hard to rank in the USA. For some reason, it's not hard to rank like in Malaysia and Canada and in like the UK, but we were a top ranking podcast episode in the UK. I think it's just because a lot of y'all were nosy. And I love it. I'm here for it. So I hope that you guys are impressed, and some of y'all that were like, maybe you've never tuned into a Julia Keeps It Real podcast and you're here for some more. But for those of you that are my loyal followers and listeners, and y'all been tuning in either literally since the beginning, since 2020 during the pandemic, or for the last year, or just for the last few months or whatever, and you're here because this podcast has been blessing you or it's just uplifting you or whatever the case may be, whether it's in your business or your life and you're just here for it, I am glad you are here. I hope this episode is helpful in some kind of way, but I just had to say, I love that episode literally skyrocketed because it was just pretty funny because I'm like, I think everyone just tuned in to the guest episode because they just wanted to grab the teacup and just see and just be nosy, but I love it. But anyway, I hope that episode was fun for you guys. Today, we're going to talk about something that has been around for a while. And I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I'm so excited for summer. Summer, all my educators out there, all my teacher friends, assistant principal friends, I'm chunking deuces to y'all. I'm leaving y'all because y'all know that life is not for me right now anymore. To all my other educators, because I'm still in education, y'all know what it's like when we finally get to say, tag your it to parents, and we give them back, and we get to say hello to summer. It is summer break, y'all, and I'm here for it. It was definitely hard saying bye to my staff and my students. I cried like a baby more than once, and it was so bittersweet. But on that last day, like the last day of school with kids and the last day of teachers was hard. But my very, very last day, when it was just like me and my principal and like a couple other staff members that were there, I was like packing up. And by that point, I was like ready to go, ready to start my summer because I was like, I don't want to see June. I want my summer and I'm ready to start it. And then I started purging my house. So I already was purging my office. Then I'm like, I'm starting to purge my house. And I'm saying all this because I promise this is all going to tie together. And in the midst of this feeling of like, I'm ready to purge. And I realized like, why am I in this mood of purging and cleaning and clearing out? And I think it's just like when you're in this new season of life and the stage of next and new, like I'm already going to have like this transition of new job, new season, going back into instructional coaching, which I'm so geared up for and excited for, but I definitely need a break before it happens. But on top of that, like every summer, I don't really get a long summer. It's been so long. It's been like 5 or 6 years. And even before that, I did summer schools a lot of the time. So it's been a long time since I've had like a long summer. As an administrator, you only get like three and a half weeks off. You work in July. A lot of people ask why, because you have to get ready for the teachers. So I would have off in June. And then in June, if y'all know me, if you follow me, or if you're on my social pages, I travel a lot. And so I'm not really home. Like I don't get time to just rest. I don't get time to just purge my house, clean up. And so I was just like this summer, I'm not traveling, which honestly, my passport expired and I just haven't taken care of it. And I think I purposely, y'all know I get things done. I purposely didn't take care of it because I didn't want to travel because I knew I'm traveling like local. I'm doing like little local things here and there, but I knew I needed the time. Like I knew my butt needed to stay home this summer and get other things done. And when I tell y'all, like my house is relatively clean. If you walk in, you're gonna see my home. It's nice, neat, and order. But when you start opening drawers and cabinets and things and files and binders, and you're like, what is this? Like, why do I have this? Like, who can relate to this? Like, please tell me I'm not alone, sis. Like, if you go into this random closet in your house and you open this random drawer or this random binder or bucket or tub or box, like you have stuff in there that you're like, why do I still own this? Why do I still have this? And mind y'all, I get rid of stuff every year. I love to donate things. Plus, I'll just be honest, as a business person, it helps with my taxes. So I get rid of stuff all the time, but I'm just looking at things at the surface level, right? I'm just going through my closet surface level. So this allowed me, like being off right now, allowed me to really dig, like pull everything out the closet, like pull everything out the drawers, like open up the binders, open up the buckets, open up the tubs. And I say all this to say, as I was going through binders, I ran across this binder where I actually used to do all these cool things. And it really was bringing me nostalgia. So I literally was like, oh my God, this is going to be a cool podcast episode. This is going to be a cool podcast episode. Oh my God, I got to get back into routine of this. Like, I got to do this. Like, this is cool for business. This is cool for life. And I'm not joking. I already have like 5 or 6 podcast episodes that I'm going to drop to y'all because of just me purging my house and finding things and me getting back into habit and having the time to reset myself. Okay. So I say all that to say, I came across Miracle Morning. And if you've ever heard of Miracle Morning, kudos to you. Maybe you either have been doing it and great, cool, or maybe you've heard of it and you need the reminder, or maybe you need to get back into the swing of it with me, or maybe take some pieces of it, or maybe you've never heard of Miracle Morning, or you've heard of it, but you don't really know all the pieces and parts to it. I'm here to break it down for you. So grab your Grow Journal. Let's get into it. I'm going to talk to you about Miracle Morning. And I love acronyms. If you know me and know anything about me, acronyms are like my jam. As a teacher, I use them all the time. And still to this day, as a coach, I use them because they just make life easier and it just helps like solidify your learning. So with Miracle Morning, there's this acronym called SAVERS. And I think about it as like, it's going to be a lifesaver. It's going to save your time. It's going to be like a game changer because it's going to kind of just set you up for success. So this Miracle Morning SAVERS acronym, I'm going to break it down. Let me just get a little bit of water. I don't know if you live in Texas, you already know allergies are horrible right now. It is raining, so hopefully that's going to help us out. Okay, so I will say this. Y'all know Julia keeps it real. I can make a really, really cute template with like black and gold or something cute and pink because y'all know those are my colors. But and I could totally make it to where you like subscribe and enter your email and be subscribed to my email list because I know how to do all those things. I've done it before, and make you guys get my nice, pretty template of a Miracle Morning SAVERS acronym that I'm going to break this down to y'all and give you a copy. Could totally do that. Totally do that. But I'm gonna keep it real. You can go get your own and save yourself time. And I would do it for free. I would just have y'all like obviously do a subscribe landing page email list, right? Like everybody else does. But just go to Google, okay? Just go to Google and type in Miracle Morning. Like I need y'all to start being resourceful, okay? Like if you haven't learned anything from my podcast episodes, I literally learned how to do a podcast. Like I didn't pay anybody how to figure out how to start a podcast. Don't pay anybody. Go to YouTube, how to start a podcast, and watch YouTube videos. Like I feel like there's so much free content out there. And don't get me wrong, I've paid for coaching. I paid for like courses. I paid for things that whenever you really want to get something really, really, really specific and you really, really want to collapse time, yes. But something like this, don't pay for that. Like, or don't even waste your time. Just go and Google and like Google image the Miracle Morning SAVERS. Click on Google Images while I'm talking to you right now and look this up, okay? And get your Grow Journal out and like do this along with me, especially for my visual learners. friends out there. Okay. So the S in savers stands for silence. I love silence. I've mentioned this before on many podcast episodes. I'm probably weird to a lot of people, but my home is silent most of the time. I don't just like have TVs on just to have them on. I don't have like the radio on or whatever. I have evolved to that. I grew up in a home where the TV is always on. And I was like that through high school, college, and into my adult life. And then somewhere along the way, I thought, what would it be like if I just turned the TV off and I didn't have to have noise just to have noise? Like, what would it be like if I just sat, like, just in my thoughts, like just sit here and quiet? Like, what if it was, what would it be like if I just like was, sitting here in silence, had time with God, like silence, like the noise around me, and allowed his whispers to come in, allowed nature to come into my home and just hear those sounds. Like, so anyway, I became okay with silence. Like, it's interesting how many people in the world are not okay with silence. Sometimes people are not okay with even having silence at the dinner table. People aren't okay with having silence in conversations, or like just in their home at all. So just think about that for yourself. People aren't okay with even having silence when they go to the restroom. How many of you feel like you have to take your phone to the restroom, or you have to take something to read because you just can't handle the silence? That's a problem, y'all. That tells you you're in a world like where you're just inundated with sound and noise and distractions. Turn the noise off. Okay, so silence. This is part of the miracle morning. And you really, literally just want to wake up with silence and no news, no cell phone, no social media, technically no music. Just allow your body to wake up in pure silence. Okay. I want to go ahead and preface this with, like, even though it's called the miracle morning, I personally feel like you don't have to do all of these things in the morning. I think if you do all of these things in your day, you still will be set up for success. And I'm going to even encourage you to give yourself grace. I'm really big on just doing it and giving yourself grace. And then like, see if you like, let's just start by doing it. Like, if you aren't doing any of these things, or like, let's say you're only doing one, but now you're doing 4 or 5 and you're just doing them like any part of a day, that's better than not doing them at all. And then maybe slowly over time, you can like do more and more in the morning and wake up earlier and earlier to incorporate more of them into your morning. Like, I think that's so much better than not doing any of them at all, or just like feeling like, oh, I can't do them all in the morning, so I'm just not going to do it, or feeling like you're not good enough because or it's not good enough because you're not doing your affirmations first thing in the morning, or you're not doing your reading at the beginning of the day. So don't think that this isn't good enough because it's not due in the morning. Okay. So the A stands for affirmations. I'm also going to go ahead, before I move off on silence, I go ahead in my silence time. That's when I do my prayer time. But in this A, it talks about affirmations can be prayer, meditation, positive affirmations. So my silence, when I wake up in the morning, that's my time, right? When I like open my eyes, or right before I open my eyes, the first thing that I think about is thank you. Like, thank you, God, for another day. Thank you for new mercies. So that's my first like simple prayer. And then I go into deeper, more thoughtful prayers after that. And then I love this part where it says A for affirmations. I have gotten away from this, but I feel like I've talked about this in other podcast episodes. So, but again, I know they're like all, different parts of the episodes and years. So I do things called daily doses, and they're like little voice clips that I send to myself, and they're like my own personal affirmations. And I change them every year. I think I've been doing them since maybe 2020, or I don't know, for several years. And like this year's, I do them at the beginning of the new year. So this year, affirmations were like basically like the fruit of the spirit, where I was telling myself, like, I am the fruit of the spirit. Like, I am love. I am, patient. I am self-control, or I have self-control. Like, I am goodness. I am kind, so those words I was saying to myself. And then also my word of the year, I speak that into my voice clip as well. Like, I am meekness, or like I am meek, is what trying to get my words together. And then I also am in the year of surrender. So I talked about that. And then in other years, like when I was alignment, things like that, I talk about that. Or last year I was having a very big business year in coaching. And so I did a lot of like powerful statements on that. So you can do your affirmations based on whatever you want. I even have affirmations that are like biblical affirmations, like what does God say about you? And you could do that. You can even go and like Google those and like record them back. I think it's so important to record them in your voice because you hear yourself, and then it's easy to play it. Like you could play it while you're brushing your teeth. You could play it while you're still in the bed, waking up. Like, and the cool thing is, if you're really tech savvy, you can copy that recording and put it in your phone, in your calendar as like a notification, and you can like play it. So that way it's like an alert that plays each day. So it's pretty cool to do it that way. You could put it in your notes. I have them in my notes in my phone. So like it pops up daily dose as a notification on my phone. So then all I have to do is just remember to go to my notes and click it and then play it. Simple like that. If you're not that tech savvy, write it in a journal, y'all, or just say them like to yourself. Okay. So anyway, A is for affirmations, meditation, prayer. Okay. V is, I'm sure you know, visualization. And this is actually what I like about this is not like vision mapping or whatever. It's literally visualizing your day. And what I like about this is like, it's taking a moment to think like, what do you have planned for your day? So that means before you go to bed that night, you need to know what your day looks like the next day. So, or maybe like when you wake up and you look at your calendar and you see like, this is what my day looks like. This is the day where I have this meeting, or this is the day where I'm talking to these clients, or this is the day when blah, 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 right? And you go ahead and visualize, like, what does that look like? And I actually do this, like, not all the time, but especially when I was an assistant principal, like if I knew I had like difficult days ahead, like, okay, this is the day where I'm going to have some tough conversations. Like, I know I'm going to have a hard talk with this teacher, or I'm going to have a hard talk with, I know this parent's probably going to, not like the consequence. So how is that going to look? What are they going to say? What's my coaching conversation going to look like with this teacher whenever they respond to me like this? Like, I go ahead and have those thoughts in my mind, so that way I know what to say or what to think back, not like to be in a defense mechanism mode, but to go ahead and have a very mature, not like emotional, like just to be able to already have some thought process of how it's going to go. Okay. So that's one approach to it. Another thing, and another way is another like way to visualize your day is to obviously also think about like positively, like how do you want your day to go in a positive way? Like, okay, the last time I was put in this situation when I had this type of a meeting, it went like this. This time I want it to go like this. So how can I put it in that way? Like, let's visualize it going like this. And what are some things I can do to set myself up better? Okay, I could arrive here better. I could greet these people better. I could show up with a better attitude. I can, sit here. I could talk to this person differently. Like, there's so many cool things that can happen just by visualizing your day. So I really encourage you to do that. If you haven't ever done that before, just try it. Try it for a week, visualize your day, like mentally walk through that day, like hour by hour, or your big events, and just see what that change does for you. The next thing is the E, not my favorite at all, because I don't do great at exercising. They say it doesn't really matter the length of time, but to just move your body essentially. And obviously, again, this is Miracle Morning. Again, I'm not great at doing this in the morning at all. The exercise can even be like stretching. When I actually was trying to do this, I was like, okay, there's no way I can exercise, because I have tried to do morning workouts, and I think their morning workouts are great. When you have to be at work at 7 a.m., like you got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning for morning workouts. And yeah, that's not going to work for me. So I just was like, I'll at least just stretch. And that actually was really cool. So you can even do that. But again, give yourself grace. Like if the exercise is like in the afternoon, cool. Like that's cool. Like the point is your body wants to be moved. And I don't think your body is going to matter or care if your exercise comes whatever time of day. It's just going to be happy that it's getting the exercise, right? And you're moving your body and you're staying healthy. The R is read. And again, the point on this is something educational, something that's going to be some personal development. For me, I'm usually doing my like devotionals or my like Bible reading. And so I do try to do that in the morning. Like I try to do one of those in the mornings. That's just best for me to kind of get my mind right for the day. Because I just think that just helps like get my mindset if I'm spending some time in the word. But again, it may not be a long stint of time. Maybe my devotional is like a really small devotional or a really small glimpse. Now, let me give you a little tip on how I'm able to do some quick readings and devotionals and things like that. I have certain things set up for myself. So like I have like a small devotional that was a gift like at my desk in the morning. And then I have like the little flip daily ones that I flip at my desk. So I have some of those that are literally open, ready to go. So it's just looking at me. I have no reason not to read it because it's like, well, it's already open. It's already looking at me. And then I flip it for the next day. So that way it's already ready. And then in my kitchen, I have one on my kitchen like counter or on like your breakfast table. Like I already have books and devotionals and things like that, like open, like propped open or like sitting on my nightstand, like propped and ready. So that way it's open. Like leave your Bible open, like whatever I'm in the book of Matthew right now, like whatever part you're in, just leave it open sometimes just to help you read it. Because I think sometimes when books are closed, you just pass by it. But at least if it's open, it's kind of like, hey, it's like welcoming, like, hey, I'm open, like come to me, come read me. You know what I mean? So think about that as like a way to like put in different parts of your home, places you pass by or at your desk, in your office, whatever, to kind of help you with that, to kind of, I don't know, at least for me, some people like, y'all love reading and it's like, you don't need that. You're like, I'm gonna pick up that book and I need help putting the book down, Julia. Like, that's not me at all. But if you're like me and you're like, I love listening to podcasts more, or I like watching like Netflix or whatever, and like, you need encouragement. And some of y'all, let me just be real, some of y'all love reading, but you're not reading books that are helping you grow. You're reading like the romance novel. That's not really helping you grow. I'm talking about books like that are helping you personally develop and grow. Like what book is helping you grow your bank account? What book is helping you grow as a mom? What book is helping you grow as a businesswoman? What book is helping you grow as a person? Those books like the Bible, a self-help book, a self-growth book, like those type of books sometimes might be harder for people to read. So that's what I mean by setting it up and opening it up. Okay, the last one, the S is scribe, or the second S, I guess, the last S is scribe. And that just means like we're writing it down, right? You're writing your goals. You could free write these things. You can have a gratitude journal. Y'all know I love me some gratitude journals. I love that. I love gratitude journals so much. And people see that I'm always usually carrying my gratitude journal around because if I don't get time to do it in the morning, sometimes I'll like take it with me somewhere. And I have been gifted gratitude journals. So then when I finish one, I have like, sometimes I don't even have to buy my gratitude journals anymore. Like I'm usually gifted one. And for like my birthday or Christmas, I'm usually gifted like pretty journals or even like a journal with like a scripture on them. So people obviously see that I'm always carrying a journal of some sort. And I love that because I'm like, man, I can't even tell y'all the last time I have personally purchased my own journal. Like I have a million on my desk in my house because I have journals for different things, but I still don't need to buy one because I feel like I get gifted journals all the time and they're always beautiful. And I'm so thankful for that. So shall that be one of my gratitudes for today, that I'm thankful for the gifts of journals? I love it. So, scribing. I use my gratitude journal, like whether it's being thankful, finding 3 things to be thankful for, whether that's or 5 or 10, however many you want to do. I do think it's really cool when you write it down. And I do love that I can go back from 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, and look and just take the time and like scroll through some of those things that I wrote down, whether it's as simple as like thankful for the random drink that somebody purchased me at McDonald's to thankful for like a very specific answered prayer, like it's really cool to go through and look at those like gratitude journals and moments. And so that's really cool. The scribing, again, it could be free write. It could be your goals. I'm going to do a whole podcast episode soon on some goal writing and goal setting and how to really break it down to help you make your goals attainable and achievable and reachable. And I'm excited because, again, when I was purging, I found some stuff on that I was really great at doing. But since I've been in this big like season of surrender, I've just been like putting my hands up. And so I'm like, man, I really did a lot of cool things. And so I'm going to get back into the swing of a few of them. And just having some time off has allowed me to do, like I said, a lot of reset. And so I am so thankful for this time, but I'm also just so thankful that when you can do a lot of these things, but please remember to also, like, I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel led to say this right now, like, to not forget that you still need to like have the time, like this, like whenever you're doing the reading and the scribing and the affirmations and the silence, like spend time with him, like spend time with God, like bring him into this, because you can do so much more with him, and you can do so much more with the rest, like you resting with him, like giving it to him, than like you could do on your own. Because that's what I've learned through my last year. If I can tell you anything, like I was like, I'm a former control freak. I'm a former, like, so much of this stuff I was doing. And in a season of letting go and in a season of surrendering and putting my hands up, so much more has happened in my life. And in a season where y'all can see, if you follow me on social media, I'm doing even less in my business, but my business is still maintaining because God is in control. And so I want you to put these things into practice, and I want you to build good habits, but I still want you to seek first the kingdom of God and put him first, and all of those other things he'll give those things to you. Okay. So I love y'all. I hope this episode was helpful and blesses you, and I will see y'all soon. Love ya. Bye.